Assalamu alaikum, second year computer science. Today is our lecture number 15. We will continue chapter number 2, fundamentals of C language. In our today's video, we will start the third topic, that is input and output statements. And we will study the format specifier and the field width specifiers. So let's start with the input and output statements. In our previous lecture, lecture number 9, we have seen that which functions are used for input and output statements in C language. First, we will revise it a little bit. So the output function which is used is the printf, formatted output function, and its purpose is to display the data on the standard output device. It uses the header file of stdio.h, and the syntax of printf is that you have to write the keyword printf, the round brackets, and inside these round brackets you use the double quotations, and inside the double quotation the string is written. Means whatever you write in these double quotes is printed same as it is, and in the end you have to put the semicolon. Now if you want to print the value of any variable, then you will be using the format specifier. In these double quotations you will write the format specifier, and after the format specifier you have to write the comma and the variable name. This is the variable whose value you want to print in the output. Now the format specifier is our today's topic, which we will study in this lecture. This was the output function which is used for generating the output statements. The input function is scanf. It is a formatted input function, and its purpose is to get the value from the keyboard, and it stores that value into the variable during the execution of programs. It also uses the stdio.h header file. Now in the syntax of scanf, again you can see that the format specifier is used, and after the format specifier you have to put the comma and then ampersand sign and then the variable name. So let's see that what is this format specifier. Now the format specifiers are used to control that what format will be used by the printf to print out particular variable. Let's clarify this with the help of an example. Now the example is that the task is given that we have to print the value of variable x. Now this is the piece of code. We have declared and initialized the variable. Int is showing the data type. X is the name of the variable. And then we have assigned the value 10 to the variable x. Now we want to print the value of x. And you can see the printf statement is written printf x. Now when you will write this, the output will be generated that the x will be printed, the value of x will not be printed. This means that this printf statement is not right. Okay, this is wrong because we want to print the value of the variable. So for this purpose, we use the format specifier. As you can see in this piece of code, that we have written the integer x equals to 10, and then we have to use in the printf statement format specifier %d, which is used for the integer data types. And then after the comma, we have written the x, which is the name of the variable whose value we want to print. And then in the output, the 10 will be printed, which is the value of the variable. So this is the right solution. So now you can see that the format specifiers are used for printing the values of the variables. Now the format specifiers always start with the percentage sign, and after the percentage sign there is a character, and that character tells us the specified format type. Means that character changes with respect to the variable type. And the second point is that the format specifier should match to the type of variable you are printing. Means that for the different variable types, which we have seen in the previous lectures, we have integers, floating point, and character. We will be using the different format specifiers. So here is the list of some format specifiers which are used for the different variables. If you remember from the previous lecture, we have seen the different types of variables. So we have, the first was the integer, and you can use both %i or %d for the integer type variable. If you want to print the value of unsigned integer, then we will be using the %u. For the long integer, %ld is used. For floating point value, %f is used. For long double, which is also the type of the floating point, %lf is used. Now, if you remember, I have told you in the previous lecture that the floating point value could be printed both in the form of the points or in the exponential notation as well. So if you want to print the value of the floating point in exponent, you can use the %e. And the %g is also used for the floating point, and it will print the value, either the exponential or the format in which you have written it, whichever is shorter. We will see this in the coming slides. I will clear you. Now the %c is used for the single character. If you want to print the more than one characters or take input more than one characters, then %s is used, which means the string. String means that the combination or collection of characters when there are more than one characters. Now, if you want to print the value in the hexadecimal, which is a number system that contains the 16 digits, then you will use the %x. If you want to print the value in the octal, which is a different number system and it contains the 8 digits, then you can use the %o. And if you want to print the pointer variable, then you will be using %p. So these are the format specifiers which are commonly used. Now we will go through some examples to clarify the concept of the format specifiers to you. In this program, you can see that how many variables are there? There are two variables and both are the integer type. Integer x and integer y. And we have also assigned them the value, initialized them. X is given the value of 45 and y is given the value of 90. Now I want to print the value of x, so I have written printf and double quotations I have written %d and then comma and x and closing the brackets and semicolon. In the next line, I will be printing the value of y, so I'll be using the %i. And here you can also see the \n. The \n is the escape sequence. It is used for going to the next line, and we will cover the escape sequences in the next lecture. Then after closing the double quotations, you have to put the comma and then the y, and then close the brackets and put the semicolon. So here you can see that x and y both are the integer type, but for the x we are using the %d and for the y we are using the %i. So both are right. You can use any one. Now what will be the output? In the output, first the value of x will be printed, which is 45 because of this output statement printf. And in the next line, because of this \n, it has taken us to the next line. The value of y will be printed, which is 90, and then our program will terminate. Now this is the second program, and in this program, we are printing the value of a variable, which is a floating point. So first here is the keyword float, which is showing us that this is a floating point variable. Then we have given the name a to the variable. and A is initialized with the value of 12.67. In the first line, we will be printing the value of A, and in the second line, we will be printing the value of A again, but in the exponential notation. So let's see the output. When we will be using the percentage F, the value will be printed as same as it is 12.67, which we have assigned it. When we are using the exponential notation, this is how it will be printed, that the decimal will be placed after the one digit and it will be showing us the value. This means that we have to multiply it with 10 one time to get the original value. It is showing us the points or the decimal value. Exponential notation, the value is printed. So you can use any one to print the value of the floating point. However, percentage F is more commonly used. Now in this program, again you can see we have declared a variable which is the integer type. And we have given it the name of A and we have initialized it with the 67. But this time I am using the format specifier percentage O. And you know that the O is representing the octal here, which is a different number system. So the 67 is in decimal and it will be converted into the octal number system and then it will be printed. So in the octal number system, the 67 is equals to the 103, which will be printed. Now again here we have written the integer A equals to 15. And this time we are using the format specifier of percentage X. So we are printing the value in the hexadecimal number system because X represents the hexadecimal. So this time the F will be printed because the 15 in decimal is equals to F in the hexadecimal. And we are using the percentage X. So therefore decimal will be converted into the hexadecimal and it will be printed in the output. In this program, we have declared a character variable. There's the keyword char. Then we have given the variable a name ch and we have assigned it a value, and you can see that we are using the single quotes. We were not using the single quotes with the integer and floating point, but with the character we use the single quotations. And then we will be printing the value. So we have written the percentage C and the value of ch. So the value of ch will be printed in the output, and here you can see A. Now in this program, we are not printing a single character, but we want to print the multiple characters. This is called array. We will study this in the chapter number 5. Here you can see we have written the char, which is showing us the variable type, data type. Next, we have written the day. This is the name of the variable. Now in the square brackets, we have written 10. This means that the 10 spaces are reserved, and then we have assigned it the value Monday. And this is written in the double quotations because whenever there are more than one characters, it is called string. And the strings are always written in the double quotes. And if we want to print the value of the string, then we have to use the percentage S. So the output will be that the value of day, which is a string, will be printed, and in the output you can see that the Monday is printed. So this was our format specifiers. The next topic in our today's video is the field width specifier, which is also related with the format specifiers. And field width specifiers are used with the format specifier. They are used to fix the place for the value of the variable. Now we will see this in this program. Now this is a simple program. Okay. Here we have declared a variable a, which is integer type, and assigned it the value of 2. And we have printed the value in the output. 2 will be printed. However, if we write down integer a equals to 2 and the printf statement, we have written the percentage 8d. Then 8 here is the field width specifier. Okay, it is telling us that how many spaces will be fixed for the value of the variable which is printing. So we will see that what will be the difference. That total of 8 spaces will be fixed, and after the 7 spaces on the 8th space, the value of a will be printed, which is 2. So this means that the 7 blank spaces will be left. I have put down the dots here to show you that how many spaces will be fixed. However, you will not be showing or displaying these dots in the output. There will be blank spaces. And after the 7 blank spaces, on the 8th blank space, 2 will be printed. If there is the value of 200, this means that there will be 5 blank spaces, and in the last 3 spaces 200 will be printed. If a has the value of 2000, this means that there will be 4 blank spaces, and after the 4 blank spaces, in the last 4 spaces 2000 will be printed. This means that it is leaving the space before printing a variable. If you are giving the field width specifier in the minus, then it will be leaving the space after printing the variable. But since we are giving it the value in the positive, so it will be leaving the space before printing that variable. So this is the purpose of the field width specifier. It is used for fixing the place for the value of variable. Now the field width specifiers can also be used with the floating point variables, like they are used with the integers, to fix the digits before as well as after the decimal point. So in this example, you can see that there's a variable float a, and its value is 10.4353. Now we have written the percentage f and we are printing the value of a. So you can see that the complete value of a is printed. However, if you write down float a equals to 10.4353, and in the field width specifier, we have written the percentage 8.3f. So this is the field width. It is telling us that total the 8 spaces will be reserved, and after the point, 3 values will be printed only. So you can see this, that the total 8 values will be printed, and after the point only 3 values will be printed. This means that before the point 5 values will be printed. But you can see here that we have only the 2 values before the point. This means that 3 spaces will be left blank before printing the value. So the 3 blank spaces are left, and then the 10 is printed, and after the point 3 values 4, 3, 5 is printed, and not the complete value of floating point variable is printed. So this was the field width specifier and the format specifier. This is our today's lecture. Thank you for your attention.